everybody, my name is Crew and today I'm going to be giving you guys a tutorial on how to build my lottery machine. Now this is a really smart lottery machine, it's super cool, but the coolest thing about it is the more time people play the lottery machine but keep losing, the jackpot slowly increases just like lottery machines do in real life. So it will keep going up as more people lose until somebody wins the giant jackpot that keeps growing as people keep playing. So it's a pretty cool mechanic. Now the redstone behind it is very big. There's a lot of stuff going on here, a lot of different system checks and clocks and different droppers and hoppers. So it is going to be a lengthy tutorial. Now I highly recommend that you guys go back and watch my original showcase of this lottery machine. I really showed how it worked, I sort of showcased it and gave the basic idea behind it, but because of the popular demand and everybody requesting that I do a tutorial, I was persuaded into doing one. I wasn't originally planning to do one because this is a lot of redstone going on here and it's going to take a lot of time. Now because it's such a big redstone build, chances are you guys are going to mess something up. So there is a world down the link down in the description. I also recommend that you guys go download that world, check it out for yourself, and that can really help you guys when you're building this thing and you need to check something that you couldn't quite get from this tutorial, because I'm going to be trying to cover things fast. Like I said, there's a lot of redstone going on here, and unfortunately, you guys or I don't have all the time in the world. So I'm going to try to cover it sort of fast while still showing you guys everything that I can possibly show you, and hopefully easing the build process by just that much more to make this thing buildable in maybe your survival worlds or maybe your creative worlds with your friend. But there is a world download link, so go and check out that guy. Anyway, I do want to remind you guys real quick, hefty redstone build, so feel free to pause the video if you guys need to as I do the tutorial, because I tend to go quite fast, so please don't get mad at me. I'm just doing this thing because you guys really requested a tutorial, and I thought it would be really good and kind of cool to know that some of you guys are actually building some of these cool redstone creations in your guys' own world. So regardless, hope you all enjoy this tutorial, and let's go ahead and get right into it. Okie dokie artichoke, so let's go ahead and get started on this tutorial. Now the first thing that you guys are going to want to do is make sure you set up some sort of room. It doesn't have to look exactly like this, but you want this basic idea. So right here, guys, we are going to have our dropper, and this is where you're going to put in your diamonds that you want to send into the machine. So this is the, insert dropper, and then you're going to want to skip one block above it, and then right up here, we are going to have our redstone lamps. Now there are 9 of these lamps, so go ahead, count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Just make sure, there's 4 on each side, and you're good to go. These are going to be your light indicators for the machine. So this way, as the jackpot slowly increases, as you play the machine more, so will these lights, and they'll slowly turn on, revealing a bigger jackpot. So now that we have our little indicator right here, by the way, this is going to be the floor that you sort of stand on. So if you want to sort of mark it out and build some sort of building, you got the basic picture. You got a wall here, and you got the lights, the indicator lights above it, and then we have where we insert our diamond. So coming down here, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to place a hopper facing in this direction, so that way right there, and then you're going to want to place 3 hoppers going into a chest, just like so. And we'll be using this chest later. Now what you're going to want to do is go ahead, we're going to come out a little bit, and we want to make it 3 hoppers going this way and 3 hoppers going in this direction. So it should be 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So this way, if you put something in this guy all the way up here, it'll get sucked out and carried down all the way into this hopper. And you're gonna want to have this guy going into a dropper facing up, just like so. And this is where our diamonds are going to be returned. Now the diamonds have to shoot up all the way up to the floor, so we're actually going to surround this thing in blocks. So go ahead, put some blocks around here, make sure it's a 3x3 area of solid blocks, just like so, and you should be good to go. So that's just, some blocks right there, and then this is where your floor is going to go. Hopefully I'm making sense here. I'm trying to rush it at the same time, giving you guys all the information to hopefully build this thing in your guys' base. So all we have down here is a nice line of hoppers leading into a dropper facing upwards. Make sure they are droppers, by the way, not dispensers. And then you're just going to want to fill in a bunch of blocks around here, and you should be good to go. It's not too complicated. We're just placing blocks. And yeah, let's move on to our next step. Alrighty guys, so now you're going to want to come along to the back of the machine. This is the front of the machine over on this side. Come along to the back, and you're going to want to break this block right here, and this is where you're going to place a redstone comparator. Now unfortunately on the other side, it's still, you can see the comparator, which doesn't look too well, but I recommend just covering it up with some stairs like so. It doesn't look too awful, and you can still sort of access the machine. It's not terrible. But let's come around onto the back again, and this is where your comparator is going to go. Now we're going to have a block here, break this guy, and place a torch. Now this is going to make that lamp up there turn on, which we don't want. So we're actually going to break it, place a stair right there, and you should see that guy turn off. So now we're good to go for that side, and we will use this circuit in a second. So now what we're going to do real quick though, we're going to place a block right here and have another comparator. This time it's reading the dropper, or the hopper, sorry, it's not reading the dropper. This guy's for the dropper, this guy's down here for the hopper. So what you're going to want to do, have this comparator go into a block of redstone. We're going to come down another block of redstone. We're going to come down again, this time a repeater, just like so. Then we're going to have a block right there. Break this guy and place a redstone torch, just like that. Okay, so we have our torch guy right here. You're just going to want to have a dot of redstone beneath it, have a repeater going in this direction, 2 ticks of delay, and have a repeater going in this direction on 4 ticks of delay. Then we're going to have this guy going into a torch, dot of redstone right there, and a repeater on 3 ticks of delay. Now what you're going to want to do is build up one more time, and we're going to build a little bit of a horseshoe around here, and then place a block right down there. And now we're going to do redstone dust, a repeater right here on 2 ticks of delay, redstone dust, and a final repeater right there on 4 ticks of delay, the full delay, just like that. And you're going to realize that these two right here, they sort of combine each other, they connect right here. So you're going to want to place a block right there to stop them from connecting, and you should be good to go. Okay, so now that we have our little machine working, you should see what you guys have built so far with this little clock up here and the little sorting system that you have. So if you put in any items in here, you should see that they slowly get dispensed from this dropper, which is a good thing. That means your machine is working. And then you should also notice that they sort of get stacked up in this hopper down here, which is another good thing. That means your machine is working. So that's a little test you guys can check so far. A little recap of what we have so far. We got hoppers leading down here, hoppers leading into a chest, and then down here, and then we got 4 hoppers, and then 3 hoppers, and then we got a dropper down here. Make sure there are blocks all around here so that way the diamonds actually get popped up into the middle. Not too much going on so far. Alrighty, so the first thing you're going to want to do, take yourself another dropper, and you're going to want to come right down here and place a dropper facing outwards, just like so, and then grab yourself a hopper and put it going directly into the dropper. So you can see they are connected into each other. Now what you're going to want to do is go ahead, place a block right there, and then we're going to come down, place ourselves a comparator, and then have that guy going into another block. Then we're going to come down here a little bit. We're actually going to place 2 dots of redstone and then a block right there, and then have this guy going up into a torch. And you're going to want to have a repeater on this guy, and you should be good to go in this direction. Now going on the other direction, we're going to want to have a redstone comparator and then have a block and come up, and then we're going to go 2 more dust of redstone, just like so. And what this is going to do is every time you win the first part of the jackpot, it will increase the entirety of the jackpot and increase it by 1 more diamond, making it worth a little bit more. So we'll go ahead, add in our next randomizer right here. We're just gonna go ahead, place a dropper just like so, a hopper. Okay, and now you should have this little hopper and dropper system that we just built right here. Now I made a tiny little platform which you're gonna wanna make, and coming out of the hopper right here, place yourselves a nice little comparator and have this guy going into some redstone. So we're gonna go 3 just like that, one right there, and then we're gonna have two redstone repeaters. These are repeaters, two redstone repeaters, and just have this guy going into a block. Now we're going to want to place a torch on top of this guy. We will come back to this torch later. This is just a reminder that we still have some more building to do over in this section. Alrighty guys, so on the side of the block that we just placed right here, we are going to want to build an etho hopper clock. So to do this guy, all you're going to want to do is place yourself a nice little sticky piston right there, then place a redstone block, and then we're going to come over a couple, and then we're going to place a normal piston. Make sure this is a normal piston facing in that direction. Now you're going to want to come over here. There are a couple blocks in the way. Don't destroy that guy though. It does get a little bit squishy in here. You don't have a whole lot of space to work with, but you're going to want to put two hoppers facing directly into each other. There we go. So you can see they're facing each other, and then place yourselves a comparator right there, just like so, and then one final block right there. It gets really tight and really compact inside of this machine, but somehow it all ends up working. And do the same thing on the other side. So right here, block, redstone comparator, have that guy going into a block, and then a dot of redstone just like so, and you guys should be set up for this machine so far. Okay, so for the next step, you're gonna want to wipe out this little bit of a wall right here, and again, it's sort of hard to cover it up, but you can always just simply use stairs right here. Whoopsies, there we go, to sort of cover up this mess, and you can do the same thing with the walls. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get this thing, you know, into a nice little box. It was a little bit messy at times, but that's just to get this machine as compact as I was able to get it. So the next thing that we're going to want to do is we can actually go ahead, destroy this little block right here, and what you're going to want to do is place a torch on the side of this guy, have a block right there, and then another torch, and now we can actually do some connecting. So what you're going to want to do is just build yourself a nice little redstone path right here, just like so, connecting that torch up into this machine, and you can see that all the redstone is sort of becoming one giant clock, that all it does is, you know, pauses and starts the clock and releases and starts the lottery machine basically whenever, you know, the machine chooses to, and it's all sort of talking to each other. So now what you're going to want to do, come over in this direction, put a dot of redstone, come on up, another dot of redstone, and now you're going to want to have a torch right there. You should see that this torch does turn off, and from here, go ahead, place yourself a nice little repeater, have that guy on repeating, and we're going to want to have it, alrighty, here we go, we're going to want to have it going into itself just like that, and then have it facing right there, and that thing is going to power the droppers. So we have a nice little on-off system here, so whenever the clock's running, it's going to start up this clock, and that will start dispensing out the diamonds. This way, you know, as you win the lottery machine, it does actually dispense the diamonds to you. Alrighty, so your creation should be looking a little something like this. It's a little bit of a hot mess of redstone so far, but don't worry, it works. Hopefully, I don't know. I can't really guarantee anything. But if you guys do get the world download, you can at least double check and triple check using that. So the next step that you're going to want to do, come over to this dropper hopper system right here, and you should see this little redstone sticking up. Well, we're going to use this as a little bit of a stair. So come on up here, we're going to go one dot of redstone there, come on up again, another dot of redstone, just like so, and then we're going to do a block, have that guy going into a repeater, and then have this guy going into a block. Now what we're going to do is we're going to connect it up to this guy. Now because there's a stair right here, we can actually connect this redstone up. We can go here, here, and it will connect up to this repeater right here. So you can see the system sort of running up there, and everything is together once again up in this clock over there. And now remember this little redstone torch that we placed earlier? Well, we're gonna actually build off of this guy now. So come over to the redstone torch on top of the dropper. We're gonna place a block, a redstone torch, another block, and then what we're gonna do is we're going to place a dropper facing towards the lights, and then a little hopper right on top of that guy. And now place yourself a comparator. Then we're going to run a little strand of redstone running across all of the lights just up here. And this is what's going to power the lights and turn them on and make them look like it's displaying what is in the jackpot, which will be very helpful and make more people want to spend money at your sort of casino lottery machine thing that you guys are building right now. Alright, so now that we got that little guy set up, we're going to want to come down here, and you see this redstone block right here? Well, it's actually going to get pushed over sometimes. So when it gets pushed over, we're going to take that signal from this repeater right there, so put a repeater and have that guy going into a block. Then we're going to do redstone torch, block, redstone torch, block, one more final redstone torch up there, and have this guy leading into the hopper right here. So we're going to have a nice trail of redstone leading directly into this hopper, and you should be good to go as for this part. And what that just built right there, that is what's going to control all the light bulbs up at the top, and adds this great little display. This probably isn't absolutely necessary, but if you do want a nice display light above your lottery machine, which is super helpful, I would recommend doing that part. Alrighty guys, so we are almost done. You guys have come a long way and built quite an awesome system. We have one final step left to get this machine running. You're going to want to come over to the little etho clocker on this side of the machine, and the block that we placed right here, you're going to want to destroy underneath it. So we'll destroy down there, and you're actually going to want to have a block down there just like so, and we're going to run a signal coming from that. So you can see these repeaters are going to power that dot of redstone down there. Now we're going to carry this signal down a couple times and over and then out, probably like 3 or 4. It doesn't have to be exact at this point. And now what we're going to build right here is we are going to make ourselves a pulse extender. So to make this pulse extender, come to the end of your line of redstone, we're going to place a torch, then we're going to come down and over and then up, and we're going to do 2 dots of redstone just like so, and then come over here. We're going to have a comparator right here in subtract mode. So you got to go ahead and right click it, and it will light up at the front there, so it's in subtract mode. Then we're going to place 2 hoppers facing into each other just like so, and then a nice little redstone torch right there. Now that we have that guy set up, go ahead, place 2 dots of redstone, and you're just going to want to have this redstone leading into this redstone torch right there, just like so. So not too difficult, and that is pretty much it. Alrighty, so now we're going to fill up all the different droppers and hoppers with the required items. This is a really important step, or else your machine isn't going to work properly, and so make sure you're paying close attention, because there are a lot of different items that we got to put in a lot of different machines. So starting off here, this is the input dropper. This is where they input their diamonds whenever they want to play the lottery machine right here. So we're going to come into the hopper directly below that, and what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to place 18 diamonds in the first little spot, and then fill in all the other spots with 1 diamond. And now what should happen whenever you put in another diamond, you should see it lets 1 go through, but it keeps 18 and the rest in there. And you should see that 1 diamond going down here, and then it'll go, into the chest as we play more. So we play again. You can see the lottery machine goes again, and this time 1 goes down into this chest. So it's a nice little system that sort of flows into each other, and this is going to be the storage chest where you keep all of your keepings down in here. Okay, so next thing that you're going to want to do, come down to this dropper down here, and you're going to want to put in 3 items. The first one is an item that is non-stackable, so it can be like a wooden sword, a wooden hoe, a boat, any of the items that aren't stackable. Then you're going to want to put in 1 non-stackable item, and then 1 more non-stackable item that aren't the same thing, so they're not going to stack in each other. And that's all you got to do for that dropper. Moving on to the next dropper, you're going to want to go ahead and put in 8 stackable items in this guy instead of just 2. So we're going to fill up this thing with 8 stackable items. They can be any random stackable items. Don't feel like you have to use these ones. And then 1 non-stackable item. So this can be like a wooden hoe, a wooden sword, anything you guys can think of. So that's what's going in that dropper. Moving along over here, you're going to want to come in the etho clock, and on the hopper to the left, this guy right here, you're going to want to put in 34 of a stackable item, and you can see that it does actually trigger the first time that you use it. And you should see if you built everything correctly, what's happening here is this clock is going off, and basically the machine is thinking that someone has won, and then it's gonna automatically reset itself. Alright, the next one we have to add is directly under the machine, so come down here into the pulse extender, and you're gonna want to add in this hopper right here, 15 of a stackable item. It can be anything, it doesn't have to be redstone. Just 15 of an item in that guy, and you should be good to go as for the droppers and hoppers. Now there is one final thing up here, and that is the optional counter bit that can actually count and display the lights on the diamonds and how many diamonds you have in the machine. And you're just going to want to fill this thing up with ender pearls. Now you can use any sort of item that can stack to 16, but I believe ender pearls are the easiest to use. You may also use snowballs in here if you guys really choose to, and put those guys in the dropper, and you should be good to go. That is everything you guys need to run this machine. However, you may notice there are no sounds. In my original design over here, I have some nice little sounds that actually play the ding ding ding, the little winning sound, and the do do do. So I'll show you guys how to set that up really quick. Alright, so the first note block sound is the easiest of the two. All you're going to want to do, come over to this block right here that we have placed. This is by the etho clock on this side of the machine, and you're going to want to break this block and place yourself a note block. Now the machine, should indicate that somebody has won or whatever. It'll trigger. So note block right there, and then a repeater, 2 ticks of delay, going into another note block, and we're just gonna basically keep repeating this this little pattern I have going for 2 or 3, however many you want to win, and then we'll come over again. You can go in any direction. We'll just keep going out. One more repeater and one more note block. Now I would recommend having these guys, on the high setting, so it goes ding 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 ding, sort of the winning sound, and this sound is basically going to play every time somebody wins your lottery machine. Okay, so come over to this redstone comparator right here. We're gonna go ahead, place a block, redstone repeater, 2 ticks of delay, have it coming on over, and we're gonna just have a little bit of line of redstone right there. Now right on this block, we are going to have a sticky piston, and then we're going to have another redstone repeater going into this block, and this sticky piston will be able to push this block out of the way. So come on over, and then this right here is where we are going to start our next little redstone jingle. So this guy, I like having the do-do-do, that sort of sound that plays. So to do that, you got to have note block, 4 ticks of delay, another note block, come over here, and then 2 ticks of delay, and then your final note block. And what that's gonna play is it'll go do do do, and it makes that little sound. Now you will have to sort of find out how to tune them. If you guys really want to do that, you guys can download the world and see, how my note blocks are tuned and how they actually work. But as for the tutorial, that is it. Your machine should be working finally. Alrighty, so that is pretty much the machine done. All the redstone we got down, all the little sound mechanics, and yeah, you guys should be pretty proud of yourself for building this pretty cool design. Now I do have to mention real quick the little signs up here for what you guys can put on your own lottery machine. Now keep in mind, this thing is fully customizable, so if you don't like the odds, I do have them set to where they are slightly in favor of the house at the moment, but you guys can set it to where it's not in favor. When I'm saying that, I mean you lose more times than you would win. So if you put $1,000 in this machine, you're only gonna get about $900 back. So it's in slight favor of the house, but it's still a lot of fun, and it's a fun little gambling machine. So if you guys have a lot of people on your server playing this thing, then somebody's gonna get super lucky and win the jackpot, and everybody else will just be unlucky, and you'll just keep some diamonds. But the way I have the odds set up here, and how I have the jackpot slowly increasing, and the jackpot listed up here, and it slowly rises as more people lose, it's a very interesting mechanic, and you can obviously play around with these numbers a lot to get different odds and different setups. But for the one that we got rolling right now, the first light, 16 through 20, then 21 through 26, 27 through 32, 33 through 37, 38 through 43, 44 through 49, 50 through 54, 55 through 60, and then the last light here, it just lights up for 61 plus. So as more diamonds get added to the jackpot, the lights just slowly increase. So yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed this tutorial. Sorry if it wasn't the best tutorial you guys have ever seen. I'm not the best at doing these tutorial sort of video deal things, but because of the ridiculously overwhelming request to do one of these, showing you guys how to build it and sort of thing like this, I decided to go ahead and throw together a tutorial. Tried to make it as quick as possible while still, you know, fitting in all the required details that you need to build this thing. And hopefully I eased the build process just a little bit for you guys. But keep in mind, there is still a world download, so if you want to just, you know, copy this thing, place it in your worlds, or, you know, have some fun with it or something like that, feel free to download it and check it out. But yeah, my name's Crew. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. I did put a lot of effort into this video, and it would really mean a lot if you guys could show your support. And be sure to check out the original showcase of this machine where I just showed how it worked and stuff like that. Anyway, my name is Crew. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you all next time. Adios. Right on your back, and once you have it on, all you got to do from there is push shift, and you will head up. It's pretty easy to operate. That is all the controls. As soon as you let go of shift, you stop heading in the upwards direction, and you can just push shift again to easily activate it. So pretty cool little system.